see here. Not dropping any frames yet. That's good. Hello. Okay. So far, everything looks nice and stable. We'll see how it goes. Reboot the modem. Switch to a different Twitch server. So, hopefully that covers both possible causes of the problem here. So, we'll see what happens. Right. So where's the prelate's house? Oh, here we go. Now we have a reason to see the prelate. Maybe the guards will let us through without me having to beat them up again. There were armed guards in front of the house. They were on official business. Or we are on official business, called James. Placing a hand on his weapon, one of the guards shot back. On whose authority? On authority of the Prince Krondor, James said matter-of-factly, and we were sent by the priests of the Temple of Kahuli. Apparently satisfied with this answer, the guards moved aside and let them pass. There we go. There were strange markings on the door. James studied the symbols with a questioning eye, then knocked loudly. The man who came to the door introduced himself as Prelate of the Temple of Kahuli. I'm not well liked by the plain ones, he said. They do not understand the supreme justice of my actions. Those who break the rule of law must suffer the divine consequences of their behavior. The prelate went on to tell them of his experiences while trying to become prelate and the codes of piety so strictly enforced by the local temple. Nodding politely, James asked, "What can you tell us of these codes?" Recognizing their interest, he countered the question with one of his own. "If you would care to make a donation to the temple, say 50 sovereigns, I think I could be persuaded to reveal them to you. Will you pay?" "Sure." 50 gold ain't nothing. James handed the prelate 50 gold sovereigns. "The Temple of Kahuli thanks you," he said. "Now please follow me, and I shall teach you of our codes of piety." The prelate led them into a small room. He stood behind a makeshift altar and spoke, sometimes ranted, about the great god Kahuli, warrior god of vengeance, unraveler of mysteries into truth. They listened without much interest, until at last he began to speak of the pious codes. "Subjugation of the will," he began. "None shall be considered a true follower of Kahuli without first renouncing all ties to king and country." James glanced about the room nervously as the prelate continued. "Mortification of the flesh. None shall be allowed entry to the temple of Kahuli till they have cleansed themselves of all appetites, in blue, of the flesh, to purify themselves for the intervention of Kahuli's will. And finally, subordination of service. None shall do service to Kahuli without first proving their loyalty by passing the water carton and praying to Kahuli for one full cycle of seasons." He continued his sermon for nearly an hour, but revealed little of interest. At last he was finished, and they were allowed to leave. So do we have to fast ourselves? Maybe? We're supposed to cleanse ourselves of appetites? Like maybe if we throw our food on a bag on the ground and sleep for a day or two. That'll do it? I don't know. So would you say you gotta go fast? This stream is a Sonic the Hedgehog free zone. Oh, I can't stand those games. On-screen chat needs a refresh. Oh, okay, hold on. Chat. Shut it off. Turn it back on. Let's see. Test. Testity. Test, test, test. Really? Why you no work? Oh, there we go. It's starting to work now. I can see your The comment you just made just showed up, so we're good. Says James sniffed the air. Well, for the better part of the last hour, he had been trying to piece together the details of the murder at the Black Sheep Tavern. Something else had been nagging at him. Elusive as the names of all the walkers he once known. It had only been after a few minutes of consideration that he realized what it was that was distracting him. "Do you smell anything odd?" he asked Krondor. Struck by the oddity of smelling jasmine in the open, he could spot no natural flora that could account for the scent. While searching, he thought he spotted someone moving down the road towards him.
What brings visitors from Krondor?
It's Navon. This is who we're looking for. Okay. There's little here to give event enough to warrant visitors from the Bitter Sea, and if that weren't enough, it seems we have guests as well from Elvendar. Welcome to Canteen Rush. This may sound a strange question, but a moment ago I thought I smelled spice, jasmine to be exact. Does it grow near here? You have a keen nose. Unfortunately, it isn't local. I deal in spices as well as a number of other imported goods. I've just returned from a lengthy trip to Kesh, and I'm afraid the scent clings a bit to the clothes. But you've only just come up the road. I've been smelling it for some while. I am told the scent carries. There is a bit of a wind today. So, as you are travelers in the area and dealing with the natives can sometimes be difficult, is there any way I can be of some assistance to you? Let's ask about Count Corvallis. What reason would Count Corvallis have to dislike you, Navon? Perhaps he is an overprotective father. Who is to say? I'm frankly surprised he hasn't hired a band of Nighthawks to have me killed. I asked too many questions for his tastes. You think he has connections to the Guild of Assassins? It is a well-known fact he is surrounded by Nighthawks. They guard his house, his lands, Cavil Keep. When his daughter Eugenia and I have time together, we are always followed by assassins, though they never wear their guild clothing while working for the Count. Why don't any of the local people do anything about it? Surely they object to having Nighthawks loose in the area? They look the other way. As long as none of them are being killed, it doesn't concern them. I'm sure that's even true in Krondor. Let's get about Kahuli. I'm not familiar with the worshippers of Kahuli. Generally speaking, Benath and Astalon are more popular with the people in Krondor. No, I'm back, Disciplex. You probably can't hear me, though. Whoa, 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 mouse. Okay, let's try that again. It's difficult to publicly worship a god dedicated to revenge, almost as hard to worship, I imagine, as the goddess of death. People naturally assume when you begin pilgrimage on a regular basis that you have a score you wish to settle, which more often than not is true. They blind themselves to the fact that while Kahuli is sometimes called the pursuer, he is also known as the judge of truth. When you can't get justice anywhere else, people turn to Kahuli. And who did you wish to avenge? Well, myself, naturally. It has been some time since I've been to the temple, however. My problem pretty much solved itself, and then I didn't need divine intervention anymore. And so it's easier to stay away than to pay the tithe. Do you remember any of their codes of piety? The priest mentioned them, and I was curious what they were. I tried to forget them. I can only remember the first one. It had something to do with subjugation of the will, if I remember correctly. When you join the temple, you have to renounce all ties to king and kingdom. That's why you'll find there aren't any nobility in the temple. Of course, when you can command a private army, why bother? By any chance, are you any relation to the Sandow who is the workman who built Count Corvallis' wine cellar? None, but unfortunately the Count refuses to believe me. I see conspiracy in his eyes every time I meet him, but I don't know how I can put him at ease about the accident. We would both be all the healthier if he didn't dwell on such unfortunate coincidence. Do you know anything about the accident that killed Neville Corvallis? It was a peculiar accident, if I understand the tavern keeper at the Duck's Head in Cavil Keep. It seems this Sandow fellow was something of a drunkard who had a reputation for building inferior structures. I find it hard to believe the Count would have entrusted the construction to such a man, but he surely couldn't have meant for the wine cellar to collapse. You think the Count intended to have the wine cellar collapse? For what purpose? I've heard the Count suspected his son of something terrible, but the Count and I have enough bad blood between us. I don't wish to say anything else that may jeopardize my suit with Eugene. As the things I have related to you are rumor, I would appreciate if you didn't tell the Count we have spoken on this subject. Ivan Scald in Malik's Cross tells us you're quite the chess player. High praise. He isn't too terrible at it himself. He told us you had a move called Sandow's Retreat. I'd be intrigued to learn it from you. I couldn't just give away a move like that. It's kept me undefeated for several years now. I'd be willing to pay you to learn how. You're after Ivan, aren't you? He won't know what's hit him until you have him. As I recall, he always bets an emerald, so I'll let you at least get something from the win. Say 100 gold sovereigns? Done. It'll be worth it just to see the look on his face. Proceed. Give me a moment to find a few appropriate stones. If you would sketch out a board in the dirt, I will show you the architecture of a grand humiliation. James grinned. As Navon played out his moves using an odd assortment of stones, it was apparent the play would be devastating if used against an aggressive opponent. Think you can remember all of that? Navon asked, brushing the dirt from his hands. Not a problem, James replied, dumping Navon's fee onto the hastily created chessboard. I think Ivan is in for quite a surprise. Okay. As we have appointments elsewhere, we should probably be on our way. Good traveling to you then. And if you ever have need of anything and are in Kenting Rush, be sure to come and see me. Okay. Abandoned. Abandoned with money. Oh, I know this place. I stayed in this house a year ago while journeying to North Warden to see a friend. There's a beautiful young lady named Cylindra living here. We got kind of friendly over supper, and in the middle of the night she snuck into my room. He knocked on the door, beaming with anticipation. A moment later, a beautiful young woman answered. Yes, can I... James? A smile of recognition crossed her lips, but it was quickly replaced with an expression of great concern. I am... Before she could finish her sentence, she was brushed aside by two rather large hands, one of which curled into a rather large fist and hit James rather hard in the face. When his vision had cleared sufficiently, the woman stood over him. I'd like you to meet my husband. I've told him all about you. Hey, Jackster, how you doing, man? That actually hurt us? Doesn't look like it. Okay. We've been here. Hold on. So there's more up here, there's more down south. This town has a very strange layout.
What brings visitors from Krondor?
Yeah, we talked to you, shut up. James hesitated. Noticing the finely engraved sign above the door, he read it aloud. David Tatum, scribe. Among other things, replied a strong voice. Historian, philosopher, mathematician. I have my nose in everything. Emerging from the building's cover, the scribe cast a knowing look at Gorath as he continued. Right now I'm investigating combat tactics. Perhaps you'd be interested in helping. And what would we profit of it? Owen asked quietly. Information, the scribe replied. You talk for an hour, and then I talk for an hour. You pick the subject. Intrigued? Sure. The scribe listened. When at last Gorath had exhausted himself, he asked the man what he might know about assassins operating in the kingdom, and he discovered all he knew on the subject. That's about it, the scribe said at last, folding his hands into his lap. Helpful? More than you know, James said. I think we'll now have a better chance of spotting ambushes, but it's time we left. The scribe nodded. I have things to do as well. I have to find out what's happened with one of my assistants, so I may be gone for a while. Get traveling. So what, that increase our scouting, I take it? Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. We've been back here. Gorath was about to knock, but his knuckles touched nothing save air as the door swung out of his reach. Accepting the mysterious invitation, they entered the dwelling slowly. There were shelves on every wall and books on every shelf. Owen's eyes fell upon a wooden staff in the corner of the room. Ah, you've already found my lightning staff. You like it, I can tell. The voice came from a man sitting on a chair in one corner of the room. The table in front of him was stacked with papers, making his huddled form hard to see. I am Shorel. Prove your worthiness to me, and I will give it to you. Really? What kind of game are you playing? Gorath demanded. His eyes little more than slits. The magician replied slowly, Not a game. He turned to stare at Owen. If you can answer 3 questions, I will give you my staff. But fail this little test, and I shall extract payment in gold. Try to carry your luck. Not until I save. Excellent, said the sorcerer. Come, sit before me, and we shall begin. Owen did as he was instructed, much to the chagrin of Gorath, who sat down quietly nearby, one hand placed strategically on the handle of his sword. The first question, Owen, is this. Our great and mighty pug claims to know magic of the greater path and magic of the lesser path. Is this truly possible? Yes. Very good, my friend, Shorel muttered. You have but 2 questions remaining. He shifted in his chair, shuffled through some papers on his desk, then continued. Dragon lords once ruled this planet. One of these Valaru, Draken Korn, called himself Lord of the Eagles. Do I tell the truth of this? Fuck. I have no idea. Yes. Shit. Save scum. Yes. Whoops. Let's not just randomly click through it. Okay. Yes. Yes. No. You have answered correctly once again, said the sorcerer. His smile turned icy. Now only 1 question remains. Answer correctly, and you shall have my staff. Gorath looked at the magician coldly, not liking the evil fire that seemed to be erupting on his face. Suddenly, Owen began to shout, My eyes! What have you done to my eyes, you black demon? I can't see! In an instant, Gorath sprang to his feet, drawing his sword. Wait, I haven't done anything to your eyes, sputtered the startled Shorel. Can't you see me? He shouted, waving his hands in the air wildly. Owen smiled broadly. I'm sorry, my mistake. Yes, I can see you just fine. He winked at the sorcerer. Foolish me, and I thought your last question was going to be hard, perhaps even impossible to answer. Without waiting for a response, he grabbed the lightning staff and began to head to the door. Come on, he shouted over his shoulder. We better leave now. Nice. Alright, we have a lightning staff. Cool. I'm amazed I had inventory space for that. What a little shit, yeah. Hey, I can appreciate it. He's got game. It's all good. But that was a pretty dick move right there. They were greeted at the door by a very tired-looking woman. Good day, travelers. How can I be of service to you? What can you tell us of Kentine Rush? We're curious about this place in which you live, James said kindly. Well, sirs, it is a nice enough place, though lately there have been some shady-looking characters hanging around by the well. She paused for a moment, then pointed to a nearby field. My husband is out harvesting grain. He works over there. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, yes. Be very careful of the sorcerer who lives down the road. He has a habit of tricking people out of their money. Asks them 3 questions. The first 2 are very simple, but no one has ever answered the last one correctly. Until now. They thanked the woman for her time and were on their way. I don't feel so bad about it now. The guy's a scam artist. Now what's this about a well? She said there's shady people by the well. What well? And this is a different tavern than we were in. And we have a rock out opportunity. Let's see. Nothing with him. Nothing with him. Gamble. Sure. James stared at his cards. By far one of the worst hands he had ever been dealt in Lintland. He frowned as he reluctantly handed over the sovereigns he had bet. Game as you were, sir. Boo. Food. We have tons of food, right? Yeah, we're fine. Okay. Owen? Oh, you're already on your bargaining. All right, he's already ready to become a star. He's prepared. This is it. Rock the house. $125. Nice. Dun, 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 dun. That is by far the most we've been paid for playing music so far. Good stuff. Owen rapped on the door with the back of his hand. Coming, hang on, just a second, said a mirthful voice inside the house. Okay, here I am. The door opened wide, and a large bearded man joined them in the front of the house. Owen cleared his throat and said, We'd like to talk with you if you could spare a moment of your time. Now the large man was eyeing Gorath suspiciously. Wait a minute, he said, a broad grin erupting on his face like a volcano. LaRue hired you, didn't he? The man rocked back with laughter. Oh, this is going to be the best joke yet. Still laughing, he retreated into his house, refusing to answer any more questions. Okay. A well. Don't see a well anywhere around town here. There's the temple. Oh, no, don't want to go any further here. If I were the well in this crappy little town, where would I be?
What brings visitors from Krondor?
Nothing. Go away. Ah, well. It was an unusual well. James ran his hands across the wooden crank, tried to turn it, but discovered it was jammed. Reaching down to get a better grip, his fingers scraped against something hard and smooth. It was a small round lock. I believe I'm familiar with this kind of lock. In days past, some men required their ladies to wear locked undergarments as an assurance of chastity while they were away. As the stories go, the men gave the keys to these undergarments to none but their closest and most trusted friends. Naturally, the ladies did everything in their power to convince the friends to use the key to remove the uncomfortable things, and many illicit romances were said to have developed. The lock was always replaced before the husband returned home, but after unlocking the device, the key was often left with the friend for the next time the husband went away. In the meantime, the secret lovers would sometimes find an abandoned well, put on one of these locks, and use the key to hide their love notes. Shall we try to open it? Yes. James checked their keys. Finding a virtue key, he moved to the well, found the lock, and inserted the small key, turning it gently. The lock was a bit rusty, but after a few seconds he was able to twist the key in the lock, producing a satisfying click. The handle now unlocked, he cranked it in a clockwise motion, and after about a dozen turns, the dry bucket emerged from the well. Searching inside, they found something small and covered with dirt and leaves. It was a knight's piece. Chess piece. We need that, right? Hold on. Where's my notes? Something about the waterfall, right? South of Caval Keep, waterfall needs a chess knight. Dun dun dun! We found the chess piece. Well, okay, so it's somewhere down under Caval Keep here. Let's head back and see what's in this waterfall. Perhaps the waterfall is the Nighthawk headquarters. somewhere south of here. Back here, perhaps. I think this might be it. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. No! Okay, get out of the way so we can see what we're looking at. Okay. What? Why can't you move? You can't move there. Okay. You believe in me? I wouldn't. We're just gonna... No! Ow! Oh, it's facing this way. Fuck's sakes. Oh, that's bad. Ah, good lord. I don't get it. You're supposed to be able to push these gems, but it won't let me shove it. Well, it's like a cannon. The gray end is not the business end, the blue end's the business end, so the bad part's that way, but how the hell do we get around it then? Without getting shot, or do you just have to get shot? Betrayal of Krondor, how's it going, man? It's going good, Nasty J. Well, it was going good before we ran into that fucking trap, but one of these days I'm gonna get through one of those things without getting wrecked. Now we gotta find a temple. Okay, anyway. It's brutal time. Gorath's gaping wounds can wait. We don't need wine, we don't need meat. We have sharp teeth, but cannot eat. Comb? Not a comb. What else has teeth? A fork. A saw? Maybe saws, like plural? Saws, yep, you're right. Oh, whoops, that's the one we just did. It can move over water but cannot fly. It can move underwater but stay quite dry. It can move over the water but can't fly. It can move under the water and stay dry. Six letters. Bubble, bubble. Nope, not bubble. A current. Maybe. Nope, not a current. Moves underwater and stays dry. moves over the water but isn't flying. Looks like this one's got everyone stumped. I know when I look up the answer, it's gonna be something really stupid, and I'm gonna get mad. Alright. Yep. Come on. Seriously? Shadow. Couldn't see my stream for 30 minutes? That's weird. It was down for maybe 5 minutes total. A shadow. Yeah. I agree with that making no sense. How does a shadow move over the water? Like what? Okay, third one. Huh, that's weird. I'm glad it's working now. Okay, has tongue but cannot talk, runs but cannot walk. It's like fire or flame? No. River? Nope, not a river. Wagon. Looks like it's wagon. Never heard of a wagon tongue before. Whoops. What's a wagon tongue? I only have because they break an Oregon Trail. This connects the ox harness to the wagon. Oh, okay. I gotcha. It's like the hitch kind of thing. Okay, so we need to find a temple. Because Gorath is a giant gaping near-death wound. And since he's the man who gets us through all of our fights, that really can't stand. Have we played here? Oh, we hadn't played here. Oops. Ping. No. Okay, back north to the Temple of Kahuli. It's the closest temple I know about.
What brings visitors from Krondor?
Shut up, Nevon. Yeah, I know you're tired. Apparently they're closed. Fine. $191 sovereigns, eh? Okay, Gorath is back on his feet. Let's blow through half our food. We saber game here. And we'll head back south and see if we can't find this stupid waterfall. This time, hopefully not walking into another stupid trap. Oh,
What brings visitors from Krondor?
Go away, Navon. You're clearly evil. I mean, just look at you. You even have a mustache to twirl. Like, just come on, man. You ain't fooling nobody. Okay, so if I were a waterfall, over here maybe. Oh, ambush. Oh, these guys are pretty tough, actually, if I remember correctly. Voice acting was so awesome in the early 90s. Funny to come revisit it now. Yeah, I'm sure the voice acting is just guys on the development team. The advice I would give is don't go chasing waterfalls. Just stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to. Oh, okay. Okay, Beyonce. Ow. Please don't die, Owen. Shh. Why do these guys have so many hit points? Damn it. Follow that advice, you're gonna end up with one eye. Finally, one down. Okay, Owen is gonna die. Scratch that, everybody is gonna die. This is rough. Jesus Christ. I'm glad I just saved my game, because this is just brutal. You can do it, James. I take it back, you can't do shit. Right. Whoops. No, don't start a new... No, no. Skip. 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 Oh, God. Sorry, guys. Just give me a second. Ah! Yes, yes, yes. I know. Thank you. I wonder why Twitch aren't giving you quality settings. I thought everyone gets them now. I don't know. I have no control over it.
What brings visitors from Krondor?
I set it to 720p, 30 FPS in OBS, so it shouldn't be too heavy on anybody's bandwidth, I hope. No point streaming this in 60 because it's definitely not running 60 or 1080p for that matter. Okay. Let's save while we're down here. Game's 200p, yeah. But yeah, as far as quality options go, like I have no control over that whatsoever. I really don't. Yeah, 720p is what I'm streaming it in, but won't stop buffering. I was having serious issues earlier, and I had to not reboot my modem, but change Twitch servers as well. I don't know, maybe Twitch is having some kind of issue today. Everything's fine now. I've barely dropped any frames since I did the reset, but yeah, I don't know. An arrow hissed by James's head, startled by having his presence. Startled, but having enough... Wow, I can't speak right now. Startled, but having presence enough of mind to react, he halted immediately and held up both hands, hissing for his companions to do likewise. They had come across Count Corvallis' guards. Moving through the long-stemmed grass with a nearly feline litheness, a long-limbed soldier halted a few steps away, eyeing them suspiciously. What business do you have here? Actually, we came looking for you, James said, still relieved that the crossbow bolt hadn't struck him. You're one of Count Corvallis' guards, aren't you? If I am, what of it? The man replied. Jerking his thumb back the way they had come, James related what Franklin had explained to them about the spiders in the air. They asked for you to come and help as soon as possible. Looking back to the other men who waited in the field, the soldier waved to them and instructed a few of them to get someone to go and help out. What about us? James asked. Do what you like, the soldier replied. You lot don't look like poachers anyway. Just don't let us catch you poking around near the ruins of the keep. Interesting. I'm just trying to find the waterfall here. That I can't remember where it was. I remember it was at like the end of its own little tiny nook. Oh, shut up. Gorath. Here, this is the waterfall, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yes. Found it. Okay. So for those who haven't been following, we found this waterfall. There's a cave behind it. And the cave is locked by, or there's like a weird chess game set up and it's missing a piece. And we found the piece hidden in a well at a town way to the north. So we've come all the way back here to put the chess piece on the board and see if we can get into whatever this secret cave here is. Enter. Oh, here we go. I guess we put the night piece on. I skipped through that. I thought it was the same text we saw. Go log out and come back. Maybe Twitch will behave. Yeah, maybe. I hope so. James nodded, collecting the nice piece they'd acquired from the well. Kenton rushed, setting it in its missing place. He grinned with satisfaction as the door swung open. If that isn't an invitation, I've never seen one, James said. Shall we? Soon they were deep in the cavern. Holy cow, that zooms out a lot. Wow. This could be a big dungeon. Okay, first, let's save. Second, we need light. Third, what the hell is that? Looks like a spider. Yep. Spiders in an RPG game? That's new. Yeah, no kidding. Next thing you're going to tell me there's giant rats. Easy enough. Didn't get poisoned or anything. Okay, good. Alright. I don't know why I'm trying to loot a spider. What the hell's a spider gonna carry? What's this? James pawed through the thick limbs of the bush, sampling a small dark berry. He nodded, then called to the others. They're edible. Help me see if there are enough here to bundle into a small pack. Nice. Take food. And now apparently I'm dropping frames like crazy again. I seem to recall the storytelling in this game is pretty damn good. Also, for some reason, I seem to remember the lockpicking. Yeah, the story in the game is excellent. Lockpicking is pretty standard stuff, unless you're thinking of the riddle chests. The riddle chests are pretty fun. But yeah, I apologize if it's buffering or anything, guys. I just started dropping frames like crazy. Clearly, it's gotta be on Twitch's end at this point. There's too much happening with too many people. A nighthawk and a spider? Really? They're like teaming up? Still dropping frames. What the hell? Alright, so we can go north or we can go west. Let's try north, I guess. This is just like a nook. They're not actual paths. Okay. Hello, treasure chest. Still dropping frames. Can you guys still see the stream? Is everything okay on your end? I can't. I have no idea what's going on here. Ah, that's kind of aggravating. Oh, got a riddle box. You tie these things before you go, and untie them after you stop. Like a shoelace? Or maybe just laces? No. Shoes? That one was pretty easy. Oh, Ruby. You still seeing things? Okay, good. Seems better in terms of buffering. Yeah, it looks... No, I'm still dropping frames. Like in the past 2 minutes I've dropped almost 8,000 frames. This is nuts. Twitch. Oh wow, I see what you guys are talking about with the chat delay. Morning Songs is just commenting on the riddle now, and I solved it like over a minute ago. Wow, that's stupid. Oh, spiders. Wow, it survived 54 damage. Interesting. Didn't survive that though. Okay, spiders are dealt with. His accuracy went up, thankfully. Damn, there's too many paths in this dungeon. Oh, swing across. Whee! Good lord, this place just... it never stops. Fortunately not much, I won't be nearly as much help with the riddle chest, yeah. That's okay. We'll muddle through them somehow. Wee... doggy, okay. Still dropping frames, what the f... Twitch? This sparkling globe can float on water and weighs not more than a feather. Yet despite its weight, 10 giants could never pick it up. I think you gave the answer to this one earlier. Morning Songs, I think this is Bubble. So there you go, you're still helpful. Oof. 10 trolls strength, 10 trolls length. 1 troll can pick it up, no troll can stand it up. Rope. Boom. I am the riddle master. No, not really. Abbott's journal. Okay, we got room for that. Let's see what this has to say. A translation of an ancient account of the travels of an abbot from Malek's Cross. The book was filled with stories and notes on mythology. Apparently, the abbot had been looking for proof of the existence of a sword known as the Garda Revanche, a cursed blade which was often associated with the Moradel. Shortly before the end of the journal, he related a curious tale. And so I came unto the abbey of Killian, which stood unto the western ridge of the forest of the Eladel, so named Elvindar. And there was shown a fairy chest, upon whose face were the runes which are common unto the Elven and Moradel kin. A certain father then did turn the strange cylinders which were on the face of the chest, forming a word unfamiliar to me, Glamredel, but one which threw open the latches which bound closed the lid of the box. From within he brought a finely jeweled hilt, which he called the Geda. This father then told me it had come from a ruin of an ancient place, and since there was much misfortune could come unto their abbey, and they willed it should be returned there for its eternal rest. He also did tell me other things strange and wondrous of legend, saying a spell had been bound into a shell that would repair the blade which had been broke away, describing this shell as one marked with an uneven surface of 10 misformed lumps. Okay. I'm just going to make a couple of notes here in my little ghetto quest journal. Whoa, mouse, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so, in regards to the sword, we got chest password, Glamredel. And we need a magic shell with 10 lumps. Okay. Okay, notes taken. Frames are still dropping like crazy. Again, I'm sorry guys if it's buffering or choppy. I don't know what's going on. Twitch is having a shit fit here. Got bad guy in here. Hello? All by yourself? A nighthawk awaited them. Reaching inside the black folds of his tunic, he drew out something that gleamed in the gloom, but rather than lunging forward, he snaked his hand to his mouth and bit down, acting before James could realize what he was doing. He's just swallowed poison, James said, holding Gorath back. Just as well, saved us the trouble of killing him. Crouching down to study the quavering face of the Nighthawk, a look of disgust twisting his features, James continued, I'll wager as well he wasn't the leader, and that the door beyond will be locked. We find whoever is running this ring, and we'll find the key we need. How can you guess all that? Owen asked, perplexed by the statement. He doesn't have a key on him, and secondly, I don't believe the leader of the Guild of Death would simply commit suicide. More likely he'd try to take as many of us with him as he could when he went. Okay. Does he have anything on him? Healing potions, cash, and a broadsword. Those sell pretty well. Yeah, I think it's probably worth more than that crappy crossbow. There we go. More chests. Apparently we're tired. Have a nap. Save the game. And let's see if we've got riddle chests or blow up in my face chests. Blow up in my face chests. Meh. Nothing special. Okay. Let's map out the room here. Pretty sure we can't pick this since he just finished saying we have to find the key, but we can get a little bit of lock picking practice here, I think. Yeah, it's going up, okay. Practice down to 36 lockpicks, because 36 is how much is in one stack, so we'll free up inventory space, get our lockpicking up a little bit here, and there we go. Oops. I wish the map was a little more descriptive. I have to try and remember. All the way over here is where we need the key. I've dropped 22,000 frames. This is fucking awesome. God damn it. Damn it. Fuck. That chest was trapped, and it just killed Owen. Okay. This is the lock door. We'll skip the lock picking practice, I guess. Don't really need it that badly. Okay. North. Ding. Okay, let's see if we can't disarm this puppy now. It's trapped. Do you want to deactivate it? Yes. Fuck! Really? There's like no skill or anything associated with disarming traps. It just seems to be just pure random luck. I don't get it. No? What's even in here? Do we care? A crappy blessed sword and a crossbow? Yeah, we don't care. Okay. Other than that, this room is empty. Just quickly map it out. And I think we're going north. Yeah. It relocked itself. Well, at least I can remember to pin my lockpicking this time. I was trying to click on these guys so we could try and ambush them. There we go. Nope. No ambush. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. There's 7 stamina left. Alright. Let's throw a heal at him. Damn it. Okay. Key, money, anti-venom, some food. Do I need more repair hammers? I think I have like 100 of these things. Yeah, definitely don't need more repair hammers. Another key, more healing potions, and stuff we don't have room for. Poison. More food. That's everybody. Okay. $28,000 dropped frames. Good God, Twitch. We actually got the ambush successfully. Oh my. Ouch. Aha, friendly fire. Whoa. Healing here, since James is getting his butt kicked, as per normal. It's done to me. I keep forgetting to re-poison my weapons too between fights. I gotta keep on top of that. Come on, Gorath. Thank you. Well, shit. Ah, these guys. Come on, James, you can take down one, right? Thank you. while Gorath just wades through the battlefield, chopping people to pieces as per normal. Could be my streaming software. Yeah, OBS maybe. It'd be weird for it to start freaking out now, all of a sudden after a month. I could always reboot my computer. Okay, riddle box. This wondrous thing, though not an herb, can help comfort the weak and the dying. It can even be used to rally the troops or make one start laughing or crying. Comfort the weak and the dying. It can be used to rally troops, make one start laughing or crying. Not a joke. Music. Just for the record, I didn't guess that. I just literally clicked through the things and it worked. That was pure 100% luck.